I had a couple of exchanges on YouTube last week with a couple of users, Jack Luck 4 and Dana Garrett. I mean, it really came out of talking about warfare actually, but it started to become a discussion based on what I call Jar Jar Binks philosophy. Why can't we all just get along? And the ambition which was originally cited by Jack Luck 4, which I would completely applaud, and which Dana Garrett supported and many other people I guess would support, which is, you know, to recognise that, you know, that we are all kind of one, if you like, we are all kind of connected, we're all in this together. That sort of a sentiment. And why can't that sentiment drive us to behave better, I suppose, really? Why isn't that the ambition? Come on, let's go in the woods, you two. And you know, I guess I was a bit condescending referring to that as Jar Jar Binks philosophy, but go on, pup. But what I meant by that was that, well, I don't know what I meant by it. I guess that's what I'm trying to work out for myself right now. But it was a sentiment that I said that Dana Garrett also amplified, and elsewhere in another video, you know, spelled out in terms of things like equality and liberty, those kind of terms. But I'm just wondering, well, I'll tell you what, yeah, I have a bit of an unease with that. I share the ambition, and you know, and kind of applaud the desire that fuels that ambition. But at the same time, I'm very uneasy about it. And the reason why I'm uneasy about it is I'm just not sure if I have the right to make that claim, to express that desire. I suppose what I mean by that is that when I think about that, what I'm really saying, kind of, what I suspect I'm really saying, is, you know, why can't everybody live like me? Why can't everybody have the same feeling about the world that I do? Why can't everybody, you know, recognise the singularity of the human race, or the singularity of sentience, or something like that? Why can't we all just get, when I say why can't we all just get along, I think I'm saying, why isn't everybody like me? And I don't mean politically like me, or ethnically like me, or anything, those things. I mean, you know, why isn't everybody feeling that way? Which leads to me is, why am I feeling that way? You know, what is it that's given me the ability to feel that way, if it is an ability, and which other people are deprived of? And I think it's to do with the economic conditions, or at least partly to do with that. I think when I'm saying that, why can't they all just get along, I feel sometimes like a little bit like Marie Antoinette, you know, the let them eat cake thing. Starving Parisians around her with no bread, and what she's supposed to have said is let them eat cake. I think it was elsewhere expressed as the liberty that was at large in France at that time, just before the French Revolution, was the liberty that allows everybody to sleep rough under bridges, which is no liberty at all, really. Well, it's not. But so when I'm saying why can't we all just get along, I think I'm nervous that I'm expressing a sentiment which is a luxury sentiment, which it comes from my position as, you know, a white male in the West, really. So, because even though I don't feel like I live a luxury life, well, I know I don't, you know, in many ways, by the standards of people I see around me. I work at a university, and university wages aren't particularly high. You know, I've got kids and dogs and all that kind of things, and the expenses that goes with those things. So we're always strapped for cash. So it doesn't feel like I'm living a luxury lifestyle. But I know that's an illusion. I know that I am really wanting for nothing, and I'm never fearing for my life. And I don't think my livelihood and my means of support is going to be ripped from under me any moment. I'm in a very, very luxury position. I'm reminded about this again this morning, actually. I was looking at another YouTube video by the Modern Mystic, who I really like, and it was an economics video. He began it by illustrating what he was going to say with his experience he'd had of going to the shop that morning. He went to the shop, and he was wearing this hat, a little bit like the hat I'm wearing right now. And he said he went to the shop, and they had these hats on sale, and he described the hat. And he says, and they were €1 each. €1, which is just a bit more than $1, I guess. Nothing. Peanuts. And as he said, you know, the fact that that a hat like this can be made, probably made 10, 11,000 miles away, can be, all the natural resources can be exploited that produce the materials to make that hat. It can be manufactured, distributed, shipped, packaged, marketed, sent out to retailers and ultimately sold, and all that can be encapsulated in €1. I mean, the fact that that's possible indicates there's something seriously wrong, and there's something seriously wrong doesn't feel wrong because we're the ones paying €1 for it. So I suppose that for me that's a kind of economic illustration of what I'm talking about. Why can't we all just get along? It's only really possible to say that, I think, if you're the guy buying the €1 hat, or if you're the guy who has the right to complain about his less than well-paid university job, or whatever it is. It's those of us who are sitting in front of cameras in book-lined studies, or walking through pleasant woods, not being worried about bandits or terrorists or freedom fighters or someone trying to nick our stuff because their family is starving. Those of us who are in this position are very fortunate indeed. And I think we'd only be able to have the right to say, why can't we all just get along, if we were simultaneously saying, I would be willing to give up everything I have. I would be willing to give up everything I have and live a completely different lifestyle in a different country with no economic support. If I could say that, if I was willing to make the necessary sacrifices that stop me being a pandered member of Western society, then I would perhaps have some justification for having that ambition. But without that, I just don't feel comfortable saying it. I think it's something that only the winners are in a position to say.